Good evening.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Oh, Hunter is
everybody.
hyped. Oh, he loves this guy. I love that we have like fans. We have like fan followings now. Not just
Wait,
people that are like,
who's
oh,
yeah.
hey, you guys are really smart. Like they're like real like fans.
That is right. They were actually waiting in the waiting room. So cute.
Yeah.
It's all because they like the whole bantering more than the actual content that we're trying to provide.
It's true.
The bantering is pretty good. I like the banter too myself.
Yeah.
I know you like bantering to yourself.
That's the only
I knew that.
That's the only reason why I do these, because of the banter, not because of the TA. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Once again, I don't see the. It isn't just streaming to my profile for whatever reason, but that's fine. I'm just gonna grab. No. I'll just get it from Cats.
Okay.
What are you getting from me?
Your thing that just came up on your
Oh.
your link to the stream.
Oh yeah. You can totally get that from me. That's fine. Go get some.
I love this little animation of you in the grass, like what was that? The little mouse's name? Retweet.
Jerry.
No.
Tom and Jerry.
No. But the live action one. It was like a book, and then they made a movie out of it. And little.
You do know we're live, right?
We're talking up. I know we're live. That we're letting people have a chance to get that old watch the TV commercials and hello everybody. I'm the Tesla Tracker. Welcome. We're here with the great Matsby astronomer, the Tesla Tracker, Elliott Wave Wizard, and a cat walk into a bar.
That is a punchline to a joke, right?
Yeah, there is one there somewhere. All right. So many things. With this episode is entitled "The Everything Rally," because so many things are breaking out of their long period of hibernation, slumber, or consolidation triangles. And it looks like Matt is ready to talk about the IWM.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of triangle, this looks like a triangle right here, right? Look at that.
Sure.
But I think no better place to start with than the IWM when we talk about the everything rally. It all starts with this magical beast right here, and it got above the fib level that I cared about the most. So I'm going to talk about that fib before I talk about this GAN. And this linear scale fib is what I was talking about. The 786, it got above it. And now it's even above the 886. And the 886 has the potential to even be support there too at 235.02. So I'm really watching that level closely. And if it can just maybe build a base on top and go higher, that'll be fantastic for the IWM. But one thing I have just discovered right now is
you have herpes.
No, not that.
You're pregnant.
Yeah, that's it.
With herpes, baby.
Yeah, it's yours, so I guess that's true.
I'm just so excited that it's going up on the GAN chart vertical line there.
Oh
Every
yeah,
time that happens, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's going on right the vertical line, and also it did this week wick to the top of the arc for the first time ever in history, which is proof that it is resistance, right? It's not like XRP, which I can talk about later, that broke through its arc. This one got rejected. And so how long is it going to be rejected? Not too sure. It could just stay in this zone for a while until it's ready to break free. But as we can see, it hit resistance near previous all-time highs, and it's still maintaining support below. So it might just be in a little range for some time, maybe some weeks or a little bit longer before it's really ready to break out. But this is a super bullish development. We've come a long ways from this blue level here where it was a resistance, then a support, and then takeoff, right? And now once this is broken, then it can have the opportunity to go to the 280s, 270s, depending on time. And then where does the next level sit on this GAN? That's right. It sits there at 480. So that could be the longer term target over the next years for IWM for the everything rally. But it's just underway. It's over the 786 fib, but it has to break above this arc first to really get started and break above all-time highs.
Well, I'm kind of reminded of like sometimes when we see price moving and it just heads right for that, like you twist the ribbon, it gets real thin there, and it goes right through the Ichimoku clouds, like at the thinnest point. Do you think that maybe the vertical Gann line is sort of like that veil between worlds? It's thinnest at midnight on Halloween.
Yeah, I think it's either the beginning of something or like the end of something usually. So yeah, this is probably the beginning of something magical,
Oh, that's awesome. Yo, what's up? Enrique Monkey. Yo, what's up?
Because
Stuart Little. Like right there. Matt Johnson just got it for me. The little tiny mouse that talks in the movie. It's Stuart Little.
Stuart Little, there it is. Yes, there we go. He read your mind.
My elder brain is sort of losing facts, useless facts that I used to know.
Yeah. And like, yeah, the last vertical line, it was kind of like the end and the beginning of something at the same time. It was at the highest point at that time, and then it just drifted higher over time. So yeah, I think good things to come for IWM, but it's just at a resistance level, so just got to be a little patient with that.
Do we have time for? Do we want to do Cat's M2 money supply and the IWM versus SPY, and why, originally when I first met these guys, I said IWM sucks. Like, you don't want IWM. My argument was always that like IWM is where little baby stocks grow up in the playpen, and then when they go on to be real stocks, they leave the IWM, they go to the SPY, leaving all the baby stocks behind, and so like it just never does well. And like for the last 10 years, you don't want anything from the IWM. You just wanted to like, that's where money goes to die, and SPY was where it was at. And these two guys said, no, wait, not so fast. The last 10 years, it's true. The SPY outperformed the IWM, but something's changing. And now we're entering a phase. I'm just going to tell the whole story. We're now entering a phase where the IWM is going to outperform the SPY.
Yeah, this is the beginning. Is this your God candle you were waiting for, Cat, right here, or no?
Yeah, that's what I think. Well, I mean, it's the monthly candle, really. I think November is the God month. It's the month of God. So, yeah. So the weekly is maybe just a start. I know we're at resistance, but yeah, I don't care.
yeah, there's the monthly God. So you think this little God candle is going to break above this month? It's going to go into all-time highs?
Yeah, the whole rationale is just like the whole 0.786 argument, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much every single cycle, whenever it convincingly breaks about the 0.786 FIB level, it just makes all-time highs. And usually it does it so that there's a little bit of a God candle that happens. Because you look at the same thing from November of 2020, that was a God candle that, pushed through all-time high. And then if you look at the time before that, which is going to be November 2016, the same thing happened.
Yeah.
So what is there to say that it's not going to happen again? I mean, I can share a screen I guess I can just
share the screen. Share the screen.
I can just either keep dry talking and
dry talking.
I'm totally gonna mess you up, man. Like all the dry talking all the years. But yeah, the top part here is the last three cycles of the IWM. IWM is very cyclical and is very sensitive to global liquidity. And what you're really seeing here is that pretty much every single November over the last two cycles or so, you got a little bit of a God candle, right? November of 2020 got a very, very nice God candle that pushed to all-time high. And then November 2016 got a God candle that pushed all the way to all-time high, right? Coincidentally, when these things happen, usually for about 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, for about 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, I guess it's more like 8 or 9 months or so. Right before that, you have a breakout of the M2 global money supply. This M2 global money supply is calculated by basically the total money supply conglomerate of US, China, Japan, Europe, and Great Britain. So it's like the big five, right? And then you can see that whenever it has to break out of this horizontal resistance here, you wait for a little bit over half a year later, you have this big giant God candle, right? Same thing here, with the COVID, it was really scary for everybody. The global liquidity broke out, and then just sure enough, about like 9 months later, you have a God candle, right? And so far we have a little bit of breakout. I guess Christmas came a little bit early. About like 6 months ago, I had a breakout, and now we might be getting a little bit of a God candle here. And all of these cycles also mirrors one another. The first cycle here, that's the most recent. You can see how you had a back test, if you will, with the COVID scare all the way through the cloud, but eventually is bouncing very, very hard, got back, tested the top of the cloud again, and just ran, right? And throughout the entire time, you had a cross of the Tenkan Nikijin, or the conversion baseline. Basically, the blue crosses back over the red, right? This is a bullish cross, right? And before the cycle before that, same thing, came back, touched the cloud, bounced. A few months later, you have a bullish cross over here, and it just ran for like 2 years. Here, it ran for about like a year and a half, right? Like this wick over here around 244, from where it was. I guess it's like about a year and a half. Over here, you had same thing, right? Bounce from the cloud over here, and then it just kind of got a bullish cross over here, and then next thing you know, you got a God candle. This God candle made an all-time high and just gapped up and left a gap. This is like a runaway gap that was never filled, right? So basically, all these cycles is really mirroring one another. You also have, after the bullish cross, you have an expansion of the conversion line and the baseline pretty much during every single cycle when they get really bullish, right? And when you get really bullish, it can last for 3 years, it can last for 2.5 years, it can last for 1.5 year. So we just had that kind of expansion just a few months ago. So I think that most likely November could. I mean, again, I don't want to be like too crazy because we still have a couple. I guess we still have a couple weeks before November closes, right? So we can go sideways for another couple weeks while everything else pumps. Maybe Bitcoin's like going to keep going up to like 100,000 knows, but there's a possibility where like IWM for November, given two additional weeks, is going to push through your resistance there, and it's going to make an all-time high about this wick over here, right? Currently, the wick is 244.46, so I think it's entirely doable. It's entirely possible. The other thing to look at too is if you're looking at cycles, I generally like to look at the Bollinger Bands. It really illustrates the cycles pretty well. Basically, whenever you have a contraction is when you start to have a little bit of negative bear market kind of slowing down, and you start to have a huge consolidation period, and that ends up usually having Bollinger Band squeeze. You had that pretty much every single cycle. Here's a Bollinger Band squeeze right here, and as it expands, the 20-month moving average loops around and becomes positive again. That's when you have a really sustainable bull rally. Same thing the last time, right? You have a Bollinger Band squeeze here because things just kind of go sideways and bearish. Next thing you know, you have a release. Ooh, it just kind of went up, and the 20-month moving average go up, and you back tested over here almost perfectly, and it just kind of kept going up for like 2 years, right? Same thing over here, and you have a squeeze here, and then you have a flattening to up, and just kind of kept going for like 3 years. I think we've been going up here for probably close to like a year now, so there might be another 12 to 18 months of IWM continue to go up. That's you have very, very nice Bollinger Band expansion, upper and lower, and when you have upper Bollinger Band expansion, allow price to go up even higher. So I don't think that this is going to be like an exhaustive trend it was last time. Like the last cycle, it was just like, what, we had COVID? Oh no! And then what? The Fed's printing money like crazy? Oh yeah, bam, 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 bam. Oh what? They're gonna have quantitative tightening? Oh no! Oh, like I don't think that's gonna happen this time. This look a lot more sustainable. The whales have had a long time to accumulate, and they really want to run up this pretty high based on kind of what I'm seeing here. So yeah, I mean, I can't really be. And then the other thing that Trucker was talking about, and the reason why IWM is important is because that's really the risk on sentiment, right? The last time, and it's pretty important to kind of put them side by side here if I can. Put them side by side here, and it's very, very important to kind of look into what each cycle behavior is like, right? Because last cycle, when you had that God candle in November of 2020, they're not lined up exactly, but I don't care. you had the God candle 2020, November 2020. You also have a very bullish month for the S&P 500, but it wasn't really that bullish. I mean, it made an all-time high, but it wasn't really a God candle by any means, right? And over the next few months, IWM just kind of boom, 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 right? And what did that S&P 500 do? They're like, yeah, you know. I mean, sure, it kept on going, but I think that this period of time was when you have like Cathie Wood stocks just kind of going crazy, Bitcoin stocks going crazy, miners going crazy, Dogecoin going crazy. GME started running in January 2021. Like, this is really a period of time when things got really, really bullish.
And Cathie Wood stocks are already starting to go crazy with Shopee or
Nice.
yeah,
We can talk about that.
Or Block. You know, some of them are starting to go higher.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. I'm just going to show one more thing and I'll shut up. It's the Russell 2000 over IWM. This is what Tracker was talking about. We did this on our show like a few months ago.
Yeah, I love this chart. Blew my mind. Like, this was the first time I'd seen like someone just take one chart and like divide it by another one. It's like, what, you can do that? I've been doing this for years.
Yeah,
I never. No, I had seen that before actually, but I just hadn't compared these two. I guess this pair.
Yeah, I can divide everything and put one thing on top of another. That's my specialty. Yeah, I can. And you won't even know it. That's a measure. No, actually, this is the Russell 2000 over S&P 500. For those people, Russell 2000 sucks. You're absolutely right. Over the last like 10-15 years, the Russell 2000 did suck over the last 10 to 15 years because it severely underperformed the S&P 500, right? So yeah, like that why is that, right? If you kind of look into cycles, there is something to kind of consider. One thing was during the dot-com bubble when like the big tech are kind of running in crazy valuation. The S&P 500 was way outperforming Russell 2000. So Russell 2000 over S&P 500's chart was plummeting, right, until the dot-com bubble burst. And there was a huge amount of rotation of money from the tech stocks, from the large cap stocks, over to like the financials, over to like housing, things like that, right? And then that's why Russell 2000 ended up outperforming S&P 500 for really the next like 10 to 15 years, right? Really all the way from like 1999 all the way to 2014, the Russell 2000, the small caps were king. Like if you invest in large cap, like you invest it in like the QQQ, like what are you doing? You know, like Russell 2000 is where the money is at. Even after the housing bubble burst, it was still kind of about even. Like both the housing bubble burst, both the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000 suffered, right? So they actually came out to be about the same. But then after that, that's when you have like, you know, Google, Microsoft, you know, Apple, everything just kind of went beast mode. And then banks stocks just weren't doing very well anymore because nobody trusts the banks anymore, I guess. I don't know. Or at least they're not hyping up to like crazy valuations because they can't do like all these really risky loans and whatnot. So next thing you know, you have a huge outperformance of S&P 500 over the Russell 2000. Guess what? That's probably not sustainable because over here, you can see that as the S&P 500 continue to outperform. Sorry, as you can see, Russell 2000 continue to outperform S&P 500. You're going up on this ratio on bearish divergence, right? So that's bound to be a little bit exhausted. This whole thing looks around the top, by the way. So yeah, sure enough, you have a little bit of a reversal in trend over the next 10 to 15 years. But right now, guess what's been happening over the last 5 years? You had a bullish divergence that's been building for about 5 years, right? So that tells me that maybe there's a lack of momentum for the S&P 500 versus the Russell 2000. Maybe the Russell 2000 could potentially end up having a little bit around the bottom over here and end up outperforming the S&P 500 over the next 10 to 15 years when you're talking about, you know, maybe there's a lot more liquidity, a lot more support. They're just going to keep printing money like crazy. Maybe it's like the age of money printing, and maybe that's why the small caps are going to end up doing a lot better. But that's what it's kind of looking like to me. So anyway, I'm done talking. That took a while.
Keep that chart up. Who here likes dinosaurs? I know I do. So if you look back in 1994, it feels like it was like this sort of Cambrian evolution, like all these different life forms and all these different species exploding, and you know they basically took all the the IBM computers and then like the Apple computers, and they started doing stuff with them in the workplace, and then they came with all the internet, and then you had them creating all these amazing new products to try out, and then what happens by 2000? some of the best products are surviving, and they just outcompete all the other ones. And you start to get money getting thrown in there, and so then you have the rise of Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, all the FANG stocks, and they just start swallowing up all the other. They're literally preying on all the smaller companies, right? They're buying them up, they're shutting them down. Anything that competes with them, they either buy them out or shut them down, or they send in Homer Simpson with a baseball bat to go break their kneecaps and stuff. Yeah, and so now the dinosaurs have gotten kind of like really big, kind of unwieldy, and there's a new sea change. There's a new technology in town, artificial intelligence, that once again, like the microcomputer, puts all this development power into the hands of smaller groups of individuals, smaller groups of people. Even single individuals can get so much more accomplished now with these new tools. So I think that's kind of what we're getting again. We're getting this incredible explosion of the value in the small caps, and then we'll go through eventually a cycle of like the new winners are chosen and the new dinosaurs rise and become, or king of the monsters.
I probably shouldn't use log here. Probably just use linear. But anyway, this is I mean, that's a very good narrative there. I mean, it all goes into cycles, and this is an example where where cup and handle doesn't necessarily work out. But anyway, so yeah. But anyway,
reverse cup and handle.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's hard to know what's the couplest to handle. Anyway, but I just wanted to kind of show that I think there might be a change in trend. I think Tom Lee might be right in terms of the shifting of the market, maybe a little bit more away from large caps to support the small caps now. So,
well, according to us too. I mean, we've been saying that as well the whole time, that things are just beginning for the small caps, not just Tom Lee.
Yeah.
And this chart, if you guys remember, I showed it like months ago, and how it was like wicking down to levels during those scary months, and this angle held perfectly on a month-to-month basis. These are monthly candles, and yeah, it just wants to go higher. This Russell 2000 chart from the dinosaur is pretty accurate throughout time. So I am loving this chart. I see it going to 5,700 sometime in the future. And with that said, should we transition over to crypto, or?
Yeah, sure. Because it's not just the small caps, but it's also.
Or no, you had a growth stock you wanted to show, right, Kat? Or no?
No, I think let's just transition to crypto, because I think it's important. Matter of fact, I actually want to illustrate one thing here, that as we're talking about IWM, like a lot of people are like, why the heck are you talking about Russell 2000? I don't care about Russell 2000. There's a whole point to that. And the point is, there's no point. No, I'm just kidding.
Boom! Got you guys so good. We wasted your time for 20 minutes.
Let me see if I can share my screen here real quick again.
We just catfished our audience so hard.
So this is the top here is Bitcoin, right? You can see as Bitcoin goes through a lot of these cycles, you can see it. You don't have to be like anybody, like you don't need any indicators to point it out. S&P 500 doesn't really go through much of the cycle because they constantly have money flowing in these large cap stocks for like 401k and whatnot. It's just basically just keeps going on a straight line when you zoom out, right? Does it? I'm going to pull up the IWM here. Does it look like IWM is maybe like correlated with the with Bitcoin? Like little humps here, little humps there, little humps there, downturn, 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 right? Downturn, very, very much correlated, right? Does it correlate with the Nasdaq? Not really. So like whenever people say,
wait, do Tesla. Bring up Tesla.
Oh yeah, Tesla is definitely very Tesla is definitely very correlated with
so look at that.
Yeah.
Because you know why? We talked about this last week too. Tesla is basically, it's not one company. It's like dozens of little companies all rolled up together, and they keep coming out with these new products, and they've got all these products we haven't even seen yet that they're developing. They're coming out. And so it has these cyclical development times and cycles. It looks a lot like Bitcoin.
they're very they're very cyclical. Bitcoin's cyclical, Tesla's cyclical, and they all kind of more or less follow IWM. So like if I compare like Tesla to IWM, I guess that might have been a better comparison.
Yeah.
Crap, IWM. There you go. Yeah, if you compare Tesla to IWM, there's a lot more correlation than you do with, let's say, comparing like Tesla with like the Nasdaq, right? Like with QQQ, like that doesn't really correlate as well, right? You actually that's what I'm saying. Like economically sensitive stocks is very similar to cryptocurrencies, also very similar to Bitcoin. I get angry whenever people say that, oh, Bitcoin just correlate with the Nasdaq. I'm like, no, it's correlated with IWM. Like, just it doesn't. Anyway, I'm done talking. I just wanted to show that the cyclical nature of this, that you're not going to really necessarily see it on like the Nasdaq or S&P 500. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of that cyclical, the cycles are, how they're either it's consumer spending rate sensitive, or currency, right? M2 supply, and what else would you say are sort of inputs to the cyclical nature of cyclical stocks? That was a question.
Wait, what was that, Tracker? Go ahead. Sorry.
What would you think? What are some other inputs that you think?
Well, I think it might have to do with like the whales just want to mess with you. Like for whatever reason, a 4-year cycle is very psychologically damaging for a lot of people. You're gonna have like a whole year and a half of like a downturn and stock market doing absolutely nothing, and they're gonna forget. And then next thing you know, the whales use the chance to kind of accumulate, and they like rise it up again after like 2 or 3 years, which is why I actually don't know whether or not Bitcoin's cycle is based on halving at all. I actually think it's all based on global liquidity, and the halving is just kind of like correlated with that somehow.
It was a coincidence.
Yeah.
I think it's a coincidence. I think it makes more sense to me that Bitcoin's correlated with global liquidity than the halving actually. So if you're thinking about it, well, it's just accumulate when people get bored, and they figured out, they perfected the whole cycle nature of economy, and they think, oh, 4 years is perfect. You push one year, and you dump 1 year, and you consolidate 2 years, and it drives everybody crazy.
And then at the end of it, they make you panic with a Japan yen carry trade, and they just take even more of your shares. Yeah.
But actually, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And speaking of like correlation versus causation, I've heard people argue that every time the McDonald's releases the McRib sandwich again, that's when it's time to get back into Bitcoin.
Well, here's a good correlation too. I just posted it on X, and it's Palantir, and you made this correlation before too with Bitcoin, Kat. But here's the one, like they're both at the same FIB extension levels right now. From the 2021 right here, they're both at the same exact FIB extension levels. You can't really make that up. These are very correlated, very, very correlated.
Oh man, you know what that means? Like if you wanted to tease out the differences between them, you just divide them by each other, and you can see how you kind of zero out the correlation. It's like, well, how is Palantir actually doing?
The difference was the difference is Palantir caught up to that FIB, and this one it just went down a little bit to retrace a little bit before it blew up. So yeah, but very, very correlated too. Very correlated.
Yeah, actually, I think they've kind of done nothing against one another for like 3 or 4 years if you do like a Palantir or Bitcoin chart. So yeah.
All right, moving on to Bitcoin here. I wanted to show these beautiful channels here that are glorious, and it's at the top end of the channel. So you can see throughout time, even the very beginning of time, it was at that channel, then up to these, then back and forth, and now it's right here at the top of this channel right here, which is around 90,000. So is it going to break free of this channel anytime soon? I don't know. Like maybe it'll be later on this year, in the months to come or weeks to come, or possibly it can break through at the end of this month, right? If that trend continues where the momentum just blasts through, then the top end of the next channel does sit around 130,000. So that could get really explosive if this channel does get broken right here for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I really see the sine wave wanting to complete there. Like if you trace it with your finger, with your eyes, guys, everyone who's listening to my voice, you can actually see a sine wave. Look back in history and look back in history, and then just extrapolate to what's going on right now. I think it does want to go to the next line there. So that would give us about 124,000, 130,000.
Yeah. And if it just goes to the top of this, then that is a minimum of a $250,000 Bitcoin back to the top of that channel.
And once it hits the top of that channel, that's when it's time to sell.
Yeah, well, basically, but we don't know when it's going to get there. It could get there right here when it's 400,000, though. We don't know, right? 2026. So we don't know when it's going to get there. But the trend has been it gets there, right? It got there this cycle. It got there that cycle. So I think it'll get there again, which is maybe 250 to 300.
What do you think about the thought of the law of diminishing return versus Bitcoinization?
that is diminishing though. If it got to 300,000, that's way less than this first cycle. Yeah, way less. You know.
Yeah, but some people like argue, yeah, you're gonna just hit like the lower parts of the channel. You're not gonna get back to the upper part again. I don't know.
Well, this one got to the upper part again, right? Yeah, 2017 and 2021 got to the upper part of it. But this one should have, right? This one should have, which means that it should have got up to 80,000 last cycle too. But like you were saying before, that it never happened, right? Because of maybe other liquidity problems or whatever. That it never happened, but it should have gotten back up there back then, 80,000. So that basically wouldn't have been an all-time high when we got an all-time high right here back in March, right? That should have not been an all-time high back then. That should not have been. But it is what it is at this point. But this is a very bullish chart. And then when I look at this GAN here, it's broken out, right? It broke out of that GAN, and the upper level does sit up here. Oh, only at 1.9 million. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's not too much, but
you can't get us 2 million, Matt? Come on.
Yeah, maybe it can wake above the 2 million, but that might take a while. It might need to drift to this angle first before it gets there, which could be like 2033, right? It could be that time. So I think no matter which way you look at it, Bitcoin is super bullish now, and it wants to go higher and higher. So this is also part of the everything rally.
Yeah, see how like it has like almost that double top look just back a little bit in 2021, 2022. I feel like that is the triangle, and we're breaking out of the triangle, and so it's going to. My instinct is that it's going to move significantly higher, probably to that same parallel channel, actually.
Yeah, probably up here, like 120s, 130s. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, let's see where it's going with my 4-hour chart because I need to know. All right.
Oh, you magnificent bastard.
Oh, look at there. It's getting rejected by this 88,600. So look at that. I didn't change anything from when I said it broke out here and then it back tested here and then it got rejected by this angle. So this linear scale chart has been very accurate. So yeah, it's at resistance, guys. It's pretty clear now. All these 4-hour candles are stuck. So does that mean it needs to come back down to the ARC? Maybe 84,000, maybe 82,000, possibly. I think coming back down to 78 would be too easy, so that's probably not going to happen. But the top of the ARC could, 84, right? It never hit there yet. But also, since it keeps on trying to break, it can still continue to try to break this resistance too. So I'm just watching that 88,600, see if it can flip to a support. And if so, then it's probably go time to maybe the 90s, right? Above. Maybe 100,000, but it's going to come. Just a matter of time, right? It's obviously at resistance, so we just got to be patient with Bitcoin. But in the meantime, other things are rallying, like Doge.
So many.
We're going to say XRP, but yeah, sorry.
I was going to say
he's warming up to it. Let the man warm up to it.
How did you know me so well? Gosh.
He does.
Well, you are having my herpetic baby, so
that is true. So this Doge chart illustrated everything perfectly with GAN. It just flipped the ARC to support, and this is what XRP is actually trying to do right now too. So if this is this foreshadowing of XRP, what kind of percentage from that ARC? It's 190, right? 190%.
Wow.
So I think I have to go to XRP after this to see that comparison now. And now that I see it, because once you see it, you can't really unsee it. I don't know.
Your unsee button is broken, huh?
Yeah. Actually, here, let me just type in some XRP here.
I don't want to lose viewers though.
That's always your joke, isn't it?
Is it a joke?
It's like a callback to a joke now.
But check out the similarities to Doge and XRP though. Like, granted, this is a shorter amount of time. This is a longer, but they're both at the orange arc. They both were at the orange arc for a while. This one too. And look at this one broke out before, and this one is breaking out of the arc right now. So let's just see 190% right there from the arc. That would be
Tell me the dollar.
Yeah, $1.23, right? That could be that would be the 786, right? That would be the 786 for XRP right there. So there we go. I mean, this could be foreshadowing of what XRP is doing because it broke out and it launched, and this broke out and it has the potential to launch as well. So yeah, good things for XRP, good things for Doge. And going back to this chart here, I want to just put that fib back on, and it is battling the 786 right now on log scales. So this could be some challenge for it, but it also means that Bitcoin is also at resistance, and so is Doge, right? So maybe things do need to cool off a little bit before breaking through. So I think that's kind of the theme of a lot of things right now. They're kind of like pressing up against some important levels, and if they can break, then good to go. If not, maybe they need to retest some levels. But Doge and Solana and a few others, they're like the precursors of what's expected for the majority of the alts coming soon.
And everybody out there in the audience that are watching and listening, you know, if you have TradingView or program like TradingView, grab your retracement tool just all the time. Like literally, it's used so much in TradingView, it's got an Alt F hotkey for it, and so you can just hotkey that retracement tool and try putting on everything. Every time you see a significant top and a significant bottom, throw the retracement tool and take a look. The 618 is usually a very common retracement, and then the 786 if things are looking really heated. So, or I use a 764, and then Matt uses a 786. 76.4 is mine.
But you do that with the trend based, or you do that with the normal?
Well, but with both. I mean, well, with the retracements, really.
Okay.
I mean, a 618 is the 618 retracement is a common ABC retracement. The ABC usually goes 382, 236, 618, and then sometimes it'll go like 50%, 12%, and then 764 or 882. It gets those ones get a little nuts, but
okay.
Usually I just look and see if it deviates or adheres to the 382, 236, 618.
Yeah, I like how we use different fib levels, but they're still pretty similar. So
yeah,
cool.
I think the idea is the same. Once you break above like a critical level, generally it just keeps on running up.
Yeah. So we're at a critical juncture with a lot of this. I see some people.
Would you sell any of your Doge yet?
No.
Heck no.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Heck no.
But I see some concerns in the chat about USDT dominance, though. I mean, or USDC dominance.
I think he commented on my post before, basically saying USDC plus USDT dominance. So
I don't see why that matters. There's just more stable coins in the market now, and Ripple's they're gonna have their own stable coin, and every other, like even CRV, they have their own stable coins, right? And that CRV token is not moved really at all. So
this actually looks like it's rolling over. Actually, like it's a very weak look. Okay.
But that's okay, because as things evolve, each ecosystem is going to have their own stable coin, and it's not going to always rely on that. And there's going to be enough liquidity around to transition that. You know, I think the concern about the dominance is not warranted, because it's evolving. Everything's evolving, and it's not just Tether anymore, right? It's a lot of other things too.
Yeah, just saying the whole reason why there even has to be a stable coin, it's because everyone wants to trade the altcoins and stuff. And so you have to have some place for the money to go when it's not being traded. And so you have the stable coins. And so more stable coins just means more volumes of people are coming into the space to trade all the altcoins and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm not sure if MicroStrategy buys Bitcoin using Tether. You know,
and actually, Coinbase, they actually have a US dollar. They don't even have. I mean, they do have Tether, but you can trade it for US dollar back and forth. So you don't even need to. You can bypass Tether completely now, and that's going to be more and more common as regulation rolls out. I'm sure too. So I think in the future, there's really going to be coins, especially the ones that are dumpable, would be. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, you're coming out just a little bit there, Matt.
Oh, I think it was my connection because TradingView just said, "Can you hear me now or no?"
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah, but like, unfortunately, yeah, but like when Ripple has their stablecoin and people use the XRPL, then they're not going to need Tether, right? They're not going to need it at all. They'll just use the Ripple stablecoin in and out. So it's just you don't really need to focus on one stablecoin per se because it's an ever evolving game.
In the PayPal coin, yeah, just kidding.
And PayPal #1.
Yeah, no, I think it's very important to take into consideration. I think everything is kind of getting started. Like a lot of people are kind of dogging on things that haven't ran yet. They probably run, like Ethereum, like whatever your favorite altcoin hasn't ran yet, like miners. I think it's probably just a part of the liquidity cycle that just hasn't really kicked in yet. But Morty was asking about Shiba compared to Doge, because Shiba's also run a lot, but I think Shiba may be hitting is like 0.618 rather than the 0.786 like Doge. So it's a little bit lagging behind, but it's also looking pretty nice, actually. Oh, you're doing that, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious. Oh no.
Go for it. You messed it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I did mess it up, but that's okay.
You fumbled. You slipped. That's how you hit the herpetic baby. You slipped.
So yeah. Oh, it's a falling knife. It just made a load. Get out of ship. Get out of ship. No.
But if you do a monthly candle though, if you do monthly, yeah, it's just an inside candle to that big giant green candle right there. So it's just consolidating sideways.
That is true.
Yeah. It all depends on how you look at things.
Yeah, but if you look at SHIB individually, that's where I think you got to focus on, because they all have their own times. And right now it's like it's Doge's turn and it's Solana's turn and it's like Sui's turn, But I think with SHIB here, it's still super bullish, right? Super bullish. It's a big 54% candle last week. Granted, it's not 190. I'm sorry, guys, but it's coming up there. Like the 382 is next, right? The 3732, that's going to be hit next, and that's almost by the previous high up there. So it's coming, guys. It's coming, but one step at a time. It's not a bearish chart at all. It's just lagging behind. That's all.
Yeah. I also want to show. Let me see if I can share my screen about Ethereum too. I think it's a pretty important point to make here. A lot of people are really dogging on Ethereum. I don't really see the need for that, because if you look at last cycle, you remember the God candle for November, right? We really have just kind of during the last cycle, it got stuck underneath the 0.618 for a very long time, and it was consolidating in like August, September, October 2020 underneath the 0.618. In November, when you had the God candle for IWM, it didn't even break the 0.786. And like just look at it. It actually was significantly lagging behind Bitcoin at that point, because when November was coming, Bitcoin was already making its all-time high, right? But then Ethereum went up, making like all the way from like 400 all the way to like 4,000 something afterwards, right? Like a 10x afterwards. So far, what are we having so far with this cycle? Well, we actually got a little bit more bullish, because we actually didn't really break above the 0.786 per se, or it was getting close to, but it was like, nah, I can come back down here, back test the 0.618 here for a few months. and it passed all these wicks down here, beautiful wicks, right? And it passed, and right now we're starting to challenge at 0.786 again. If we're able to break back above, if this is really the November to remember, then I think there's a possibility where December, January, February, March, April would go like this: boom, 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 boom. I think there's a possibility of that happening, because this cycle over here actually looks more bullish than this cycle over here. And that's exactly what happened after it broke out. So, yeah, just something to think about. Like, I think Ethereum is taking its time, and it's not anything unusual that Ethereum is kind of lagging behind Bitcoin at this part of the cycle. When Bitcoin makes its all-time high and everybody just kind of get frustrated and kind of saying Ethereum is crap. So, I just want to kind of make that point. So.
What? Oh, are we talking about Ethereum?
Yeah.
Tracker was sleeping. Oh man, that's so rude.
Don't let me blow on your ear.
I'm so sorry. I'm an old man. I have to sleep all the time.
I'm gonna smart contract your ass. No, it's good.
You can't have an everything rally without Ethereum though. So it's gonna go whether you like it or not, Tracker. And yes, it is going to be expensive for creating those smart contracts, but
despite all the gas fees so high,
yeah. And Solana is going to crash approximately 7 trillion times, so that'll be okay. That'll be okay too. It's just part of the process.
Yeah, this is what I think about Ethereum. This is what I think about Ethereum. Yeah, I think about Ethereum the way I feel about Creed. It's going higher.
I love it.
All right.
I love the Jimmy Cat. So Dennis Picasso asks, is Doge in the banana zone? What is a banana zone?
It's Raoul Powell's thing about when things go crazy, when things go bananas. You know, bananas. Come on, let's go bananas. Let's go bananas. It's the banana zone. So
does it mean like it's crazy and disconnected from reality, or just like makes you so happy?
It's going to go crazy in a good way, right? It's to the moon, really. Yeah, to the moon.
All right. I like my Doge. I bought all that Doge last week, and I'm so happy I did. Thank you guys for all your Doge charts.
It's Doge. XRP is next. I can't stop looking at the breakout. God, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the British baking show with my wife, and so bakers, you're halfway done. We're about like we're about 45 minutes into the show here. Let's see if we can get all the
You want to talk about all the miners?
Let's wait. Well, let's finish. Yeah, we'll do all the coins and then all the miners, and then we'll go to stocks.
So all the coins. What other coins are we going to talk about?
See. I'm just looking through the chat.
Yeah, somebody asked about FLOKI. I mean, I don't.
FLOKI. There we go.
Yeah, I'm okay. If you want to go talk about FLOKI,
and Solana. I see a Solana request.
Solana, and then we move on to Tesla, which is probably what everybody wants to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so FLOKI, whatever you want to call it, from Vikings, I guess, right? Yeah, it's trending higher, right? It's kind of boring at the moment, though. I don't really see much happening. Yeah, I mean, it's going to go with the rest of the market, but there's really no excitement yet. Granted, it did have a 47% candle last week, but that's boring. Even SHIB had a better percentage last week. I mean, come on, FLOKI.
Holy 47%.
But I can see the trend going, and the angle above sits around that 387 up there, and then the orange level at that 0.00072. That's going to be the target to really break above to really have a chance to go much, much higher. So
I remember like 1 million of those just to have a chance to make $1.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the Bollinger Band look like on this thing?
The BB, it's
you get squeezy.
It's expanding a little bit.
Yeah,
right there.
Pushing up.
Yeah.
Right. And what was the other one we had?
Solana.
That was it.
Speaking of Bollinger Bands, though, did you guys see my post today about XRP? The monthly Bollinger Bands? They're starting to expand. Look at that.
Yes.
Expansion right there, guys.
Congratulations.
You got that expansion. It's not a stable coin anymore, so take that, cat.
Congratulations, it's a meme coin.
Yeah, just like your herpes is going to go exponential.
Well,
Oh my God.
you know, it has no cure, just like XRP. You can't cure exponential gains. You know,
It's just going to ripple, like like on the toilet seat, like herpes.
All right, we went off on a tangent.
I got it from riding a tractor.
Oh, geez.
The tractor seat.
Well, here's Solana and its Bollinger Band. They're expanding as well, and it's kind of riding on top of it as support. And that's kind of cool. And it's also above the green level of my GAN, and the all-time high is at 259.90. So Solana almost at all-time highs. This is pretty incredible. But since it's above the 886, I think it's just going to go. It's going to be a matter of time before it breaks into all-time highs and goes to the 1.272 above, around 669. And the next level of my GAN does sit right there at 1200. So I think that'll be the target after this gets flipped to support.
That's like NVIDIA money right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's basically it's ready to go. No matter how many times the network shuts down, it's ready to go. It's ready.
What is Chainlink? I don't think I've ever looked at Chainlink. Is that Link?
Yeah, that's Link. Yeah, it's getting blocked by the Bollinger Band. It's not really expanding yet. Yeah, but
just like everything else. I mean, yeah, it's going to go up.
It's like everything else. Yeah, like kind of like Near. It's kind of like Fetch. It's like everything, right? So the outliers are Doge, Solana, Sui, and a few others. Even XRP could be an outlier. Oh no, it's below 70 cents. Never mind, I take it all back.
Dumb Money and margin calls ears just perked up. Dumb Money says 669 for Solana.
Yeah, more than that. It's going to go way higher than that for sure.
And then margin call says, what are the support levels for Solana?
Well, we're looking at it right now. It's riding the BB right now. I just showed you guys. It's riding, and that's 205, right? 205.59. That looks like your support. And that also kind of aligns with my GAN level as well, where it was a resistance, now trying to be a support. So if you're looking for support for Solana, it's basically pretty close for possibly a continuation to, yes, 669.
Because the former resistance has flipped to support now.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it support, you got to buy it now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
To buy it earlier was earlier.
Yes.
Nobody wanted it.
The best time was the back test of this 200 or this 20-week moving average right there. That would have been the best time. Breakout back test, continue higher. But yeah, these coins are looking really, really good. For continuation, just got to give it some time to break their resistance levels, and then they're going to go.
All right. Well, how about we transition to Coinbase next, since we're segueing out of crypto into another aspect of crypto.
Yeah. So Coinbase is really far outside of the weekly Bollinger Band, so it could come back down, especially if Bitcoin retraces a little bit. If it did go to 84,000, like it's possible, then Coinbase might come back down to the ARC. I don't think it'll come back down just quite yet to the upper Bollinger Band, just because it's kind of far away. But the bottom of the ARC does sit around 300, or the top of the ARC, so it has potential to retrace there, especially it's getting rejected by the 318.95. So that is what I'm really watching to see if it really can close the week above that. If so, much more room to go. But I just think huge run, right? Huge, like 48%, followed by 17%. Yeah, so
we're like chatting back and forth with each other, Matt and Kat and me. We're like, oh, Coinbase. Oh, wait, CONL, get CONL. 2x Coinbase ETF. Oh my God. I made the most money all year just on that one trade.
You realize how I've been kind of quiet about it because there's that resistance, but I'm not selling. I don't care. I mean, I think even if it retraces down, and if I'm going to get some decay, I think there's like a very nice bull trend starting, so I'm not going to.
Yeah,
you don't have to. Just when it gets down there, just buy some more.
Yeah, we'll look at CONL real quick. And CONL, essentially, it's already kind of flipped my GAN level. So I can't really see it going lower than 58 right now. I mean, it's possible. Of course it's possible. If Bitcoin just wants to retest a lot of lower levels, yeah. But I think what we're seeing right now is maybe 58, 59 could be the new floor for CONL, which kind of means Coinbase would probably be around 300 for its floor, maybe 299, 298, which it already got there pre-market today, right? It already was there pre-market for Coinbase. So I think it's looking pretty good to hold this floor right now. So we'll see if it can hold throughout the week, but that's what I'm targeting, around $58, $59 for CONL for support.
This is a wild idea. Margin call says for Coinbase, buy CONL and short coin. That's interesting.
So that way you break even when coin goes like all the way to
That's
the moon.
right.
Because of people.
Are you allowed to do that in brokerage accounts?
Oh, I'm so sorry. He says, wait, for
Short-
Coinbase, buy coin
Connie.
and short CONL? Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Anyway,
I misunderstood. Wait,
No
can we
worries.
go back to Bitcoin real quick and then just say again, is Bitcoin going to go lower?
Well, I have confidence around that 84,000, and here's another example. It's from this high to that low. It's the 1.272, 83.5. So of course, but one thing that does look like what happened, this angle, regardless of anything, it looks like it wants to be a support now because it just basically skyrocketed up. So that angle sits around 82. So I think worst case, maybe we'll see like an 82, maybe 83,000 Bitcoin for Max Payne. And that would be the birth of something beautiful for the back test and go much higher to the 100,000s and above. So all this fear about, oh, Bitcoin just gapped up and needs to close gaps. I don't think so. I think most people are going to expect lower, but it's not going to go as low as people think.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even go as low as I thought. Today in intraday trading, Bitcoin made a low around 85,000. I thought we're talking about in our morning show this morning. I thought I was looking for it to touch like 84,000, and it didn't get there. And then it made a new higher high, a new all-time high after that, 90,243.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you mind if I show Amara chart here real
no,
quick?
please.
Yeah, go through all the miners actually since
Yeah.
you're up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I
No,
want
it's your turn.
Yep.
Oh,
Lightning
man.
round cat.
Okay,
No.
so without even caring about the earnings, because I absolutely think that like minor earnings are absolutely worthless. I'm sorry, like a lot of fundamentalists probably disagree with me, but I don't care. What you can really see is I'm just going to keep it simple. Why did Mara go down? Because it got rejected here at the Ichimoku monthly cloud. Like that's exactly what happened, and it got above the 0.618, and it's just like if it breaks the 0.618 convincingly, then I think that it's going to have a pretty powerful like bull trend. It's going to probably end up pushing about the 0.786 this time. It's just going to go a lot higher. But it's the first time, I guess not the first time, the second time. It's the second time it's ever really touched the Tsubishi cloud bottom. It just simply got rejected there. I don't think there's anything like magical about what the earnings did or what like fundamentals like Mars going to crap. I don't really care about any of that. So what's going to happen after it breaks above that? After it breaks above, it's going to get to the 0.786. Right? Where is the 0.786 located right now? It's located at the top of the Ichimoku cloud, right? So there's a lot of things here that are kind of lining up here. I think it's probably going to, over the next few months, is probably, depending if IWM goes boom, 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 and Bitcoin goes boom, 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 if IWM makes an all-time high, if it's able to break above the resistance that Matt was showing earlier in the show, then I think that there's a good chance Mara is going to challenge the 0.786 and the Ichimoku cloud here on the monthly, right? And it breaks up.
Oh, did we lose
You're
cat?
talking about a lot higher targets. Like I honestly think like 300 not like out of the question. If you don't want to do like linear fibs and you're like that's crazy, stop it. Then you'd be like okay, so 116, 133, 185, 213. If it breaks convincingly, if it breaks about the Tsubishi cloud and it breaks about the Ichimoku cloud and it breaks about 0.786, then that's where it's going. That's I'm just going to keep it simple. Is it going there? Is the trend favorable? Yes, it is, because the 20-month moving average has flipped from resistance here to support. And matter of fact, the 20-month moving average is now accelerating to the upside, right? So you're really talking about finding support here from previous resistance. He backtested with multiple wicks over here, very nice trident, once, twice, three times, and then you basically just it's very similar look to where it was over here when it was already up the Bollinger Band, right? And you get punished for it later because it's just way outside. You got rejected multiple times with all these wicks over here. You have the opposite here happening on 0.5. and you look like you want to push above the 0.618. They're using earnings as an excuse to trying to push it below the 0.618. Sure, whatever you guys want to do, I don't care. Like, this is a very bullish look. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to at least get to 0.786 this cycle. And if it's able to break above that sometime over the next like 6 months or so, then it can go a lot higher. That's what I think about Mara. The other, well, I mean, I don't want to talk about all the miners. Not Clask. What the heck is Clask? Stop with the A. Okay, same thing. It's basically the same thing happening to all the miners, right? You have CleanSpark basically doing the same thing. Why did they also have like a little bit of a downward movement here after hours? I don't know, but it's even more bullish than Mara because it's getting closer to 0.786. Like, it's already broken about the 0.618. It already challenged the same thing, right? Negative sloping 20-moving average, flipping positive. Everything's kind of lining up. Last time it was trying to break about the 0.786 for a very long time. It's also trying to break about the Ichimoku cloud here for a very long time. It just wasn't able to do that, right? Right now, on the monthly, we broke back above the baseline. We broke back above the conversion. We broke back inside the cloud. So what if like after hours went down like 3 or 4%? Like, I don't really give a crap about that. Like, I really don't. Something is lining up here. You have a very, very powerful move over here. This is a very, very bullish look to CleanSpark. I mean, I can keep talking. Like, Bitfarm basically just looks like Mara. It's the exact same chart. It's still not quite at 0.618, and the top of the cloud is around 0.786. It's the exact same chart, right? So I don't really have much to say about that. CIFR, you look at CIFR. CIFR looks great. It's breaking above the 0.786. I don't care if CIFR did nothing over the last week. Like, it did nothing because it's way overextended about the monthly Bollinger Band. Like, it's just way outside of upper Bollinger Band. Like, what do you want? It needs to expand. It's probably going to expand if if it ends up closing a month above the 0.786, which looks like it may be wanting to do that. Or maybe the whales end up saying, "Oh, I'm not ready yet." You just kind of close underneath it a little bit. I don't care. The Bollinger Band is expanding, and the 20-moving average has been pushing price up for a very, very long time. It's consolidating sideways over for about a year and a half. This is an extremely bullish look. Bollinger Band to the lower Bollinger Band is also expanding. This is a very, very bullish look. So I don't care, right? IREN, it's the same things happening in IREN. Like, all these miners chart look the same. It's trying to break into 0.786. Got rejected here twice. Back in June, back in July. Is trying again. It was just waiting for a Bollinger Band to expand. It's going to happen. Like, that's what it looks like to me is going to happen. So it can consolidate sideways because it is a little bit outside of the upper Bollinger Band. So be it. WULF, why did it have these like crazy downward moves? Why can't it just moon? Well, you have to follow physics here, right? You have to follow the upper Bollinger Band. You have to allow it to expand before you can go up further. You're challenging the 0.618 here, right? And so far you're passing that. So the next stop is going to be 0.786, going to be like $17. If it pushes for $17, I don't know how high it's going to go. I don't think it's going to go like 670, but you can look in like more linear, fit levels. Can the cycle end like $70, 114, 157? Possible. It's a very, very impulsive move. The low Bollinger Band is all the way down and it's still expanding. This is a very, very powerful bull trend. So I can talk about one more thing. Somebody asked me about Jasmine. I was on Jasmine for I was on Jasmine for about a year and a half. I was posting about Jasmine for about a year and a half. And I have been pretty bullish on Jasmine, and it's also doing a very, very similar thing with all. Actually, this is one of those that actually look a little bit more bullish. The only thing that is that somebody might have called out that this might be like a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern, and I call it, it looks like a head and shoulder continuation pattern, because all it's doing right now is it broke above the Ichimoku cloud and it flipped it from resistance over here, and it flipped it from resistance to support. It looks extremely bullish when it's able to do that, right? Right now, it's still above the Ichimoku cloud. I have a feeling it's probably going to keep going up. So, what else do I need to talk about?
Riot and SMLR.
Riot. SMLR, I already talked about it on my members thing, but anyway. Riot, what is it doing? Is trying to break about the weekly Ichimoku cloud. What is it doing here on the monthly? On the monthly, it's broken back about the Tenkan Nikijin, or the baseline conversion. So it's probably end up gravitating up towards the bottom of the cloud over here. And also what happened is something extremely bullish had happened with Riot, which is it broke back above the 20-month moving average. It had convincingly so far in the month of November flipped this 20-month moving average initially to support to resistance, and now back into support. and right now it's on the upper part of the Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band is starting to kind of expand here a little bit. I think it's going to end up gravitating to the upper Bollinger Band here, which is right now is around 16.69. I'm flipping bullish on Riot. It's not made a higher high yet. I see a little bit of concern. I would like to see it make a little bit of higher high, maybe even above this wick over here, around 20.65. But but it's really flipping. Like the overall trend is flipping positive, based on 20-month moving average, and I think that is going to probably follow the rest of the market. I don't know if it's going to make as much gain as the other ones. It might end up being like a late cycle runner, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Somebody mentioned Annie, and then you said which one again after Riot?
BTF or
SMLR.
Okay, I'll talk about next. I worry about Annie because I worry about these really super small cap ones just because the 20-month moving average is still negative sloping. So I can't guarantee that it's going to flip, but most likely it will. Most likely it looks like it wants to get to upper Bollinger Band. It's probably going to come back down. I just don't know whether or not it's going to like fall down on its ass and go down further and make a lower low. I'm just not convinced yet.
Matt, can I show my any chart real quick? Wait, before you go.
You have an any chart?
Yeah, let me show you any. So I just pulled up on my screen here. There we go. And here's the buy block order. I'm sorry, the sell block order up here around the 23.6% fib. All I did was I took my retracement tool and I drug it from the all-time low here of 57 cents and to the last spike it had at 83. And so, if this is building a base and if this is going to recover, then I would expect it to follow my ABC tool, something like 382-236-618. And that's just a quick and dirty, easy way to predict the best outcome that this could possibly get next. Or, better yet, as if these both go up a fib or so. But you can see they've already got all these sell orders. They're ready to sell the next spike here. It looks like it does look like it's kind of building a base around here. Or maybe they just know, like the short sellers know if you kill the host, then you've got nothing else to be a parasite on. If they run this all the way down to like 0 cents, then it'll die and it won't get to keep going. They can't short it anymore. But it looks like it's building a base. So if it can get, past $10 again, if it ever gets to $10 again, then 32 becomes a lot more likely, I'd say.
About that? I mean, if it did make a little bit of a, if you do like a log scale, I mean, I can flip that.
Yeah, because otherwise what you get a bunch of blow off tops, and then it runs down. Then they do a reverse split, and then they get another blow off top, and then another reverse split, and then this endless cycle.
It can make a lower high, and it will still be a significant amount of gains this cycle, I guess. Right.
Yeah,
but it's not something that you hollow. I think that's the point.
Okay, you can go back to SMLR with Kat.
No, I mean I think it's good. Like it did make a little bit of a higher low over here, like compared to over here. So if it makes a higher high, then I might be a little bit more convinced that it's going to end up reversing the trend. But right now, it's trying to flip the 20-month moving average. I'm just not convinced because it's still negative sloping. Right. Somebody asked about BTDR, and I go to SMLR here. BTDR monthly, basically it's been just going sideways. It's been kind of trying to flip it from resistance to support to resistance to support. So it's a little bit trendless. I don't know what BTDR is trying to do.
Oh, wait. It's a diamond pattern.
Yeah, but is it diamond top or diamond bottom? You don't know.
Well, you never know diamonds.
Yeah, you never know. With that said, that's the whole thing.
Do you prefer a bottom, Kat?
Anyway, but it's hitting a little bit of resistance here on a weekly Bollinger Band. I think it's just been going sideways. It's trendless. With Bitcoin going higher, it's probably going to go higher. With IWM going higher, it's probably going to go higher. With China going higher, I think this is like a Singapore-based company. It's probably going to go higher. But right now, it's just a little bit trendless. So it might take a little bit longer for it to kind of take off. SMLR.
A lot of these, just before we leave, a lot of these, just wait until the trend breaks. When you see a change of character, break of structure, then go in. Otherwise, you're at risk of just having your money in dead money for a while.
So, for example, this is one that looks like it's changing in behavior, right? SMLR, because you're really doing an upper Bollinger Band expansion over here, even though price was underneath the lower Bollinger Band, underneath the 20-month moving average for a long time. It's just kind of consolidating sideways. You have a change in behavior here. The Bollinger Band went from contracting to expanding, and it's picking a direction, right? So it is a little bit overextended, but this is a bull trend, and it can end up overextended here for a very long time, right? So I think that SMOR, whatever it is, I charted it already, I think, for my members earlier today, but yeah, it's bullish. I'm not gonna go through too much more on that. You guys want to talk about Tesla? I've been talking about like 70 minutes into
yes,
Bakers, you're halfway done. We got halfway through the show, so let's do the stocks.
Yeah, let's get done with the crypto stuff. Let's talk about Tesla.
All right. Well, let Kat or Matt, you want to lead it on?
We skipped one though. MSTR. I think somebody did mention.
Oh yeah, MicroStrategy. For sure.
What do you want to know about MSTR?
Is it going to go to the moon, or is it going to go back to zero?
Fly me to the moon. Anyway, yeah. So if you're talking about like I think it was hitting a little bit of resistance earlier yesterday. It was hitting like this 1.614. I think it's probably going to go to 1.618. I don't think there's any doubt that it's going to happen. But the
1.618 is like a magical magnet fib.
Yeah, and like it's a bull trend. Initially, I was worried a little bit about like the low Bollinger Band contraction. Right, look at what it's doing on the lower Bollinger Band. It re-expanded. Like, okay, it just want to keep going, right? Yeah. And then if you also look at another thing here too, and you already knew that was going to happen, because if you look at the Ichimoku cloud, and if you just look at like the blue line and the red line, it flipped it from resistance here back into support over here. And when you're doing, like, when you have a look like this and you have a look like that, instead of going down, you're going to go up, right? I mean, that's just the way that nature works, right? So we already knew that was going to happen. I want to show you one more chart here that's like absolutely insane, which is MSTR over BTC USD. Like, I want to show you the Bollinger Band. Like, what the heck is going on?
Wow.
Like, what the heck is going on?
Maybe we're going to cure cancer as well as make money on that Bitcoin.
Yeah, looks like it just wants to keep outperforming Bitcoin, but it might be getting a little bit overextended. So I think at some point, I think MSTR is probably one of the early runners. I don't know how high it's going to go. Matt, do you want to like kind of talk about what your thoughts on MSTR is, or?
Yeah, I can go over my MSTR thoughts.
Yeah, and then Tracker, you take over, and I'll let you guys talk about Tesla.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
My memoirs of MSTR. Let me just go to that.
And just remember, there's a 2x ETF of MSTX if you want to just go hog wild.
Yeah, that's my nickname, Hog Wild. And so I just have the fibs from 2021 to the low, and it's busting above the log scale fib of the 1.414, 340. So not only that, this is my 45-degree angle that I've had on the chart for a long time. And you can see, going back in time, how important that angle really was. Right here in 2009, then you had this resistance, and from 2013 all the way to 2015, right? And then finally it went back down to the orange level, and resistance with that 45 there, 2021, and it broke free, right? But granted, the week is not over yet. So will it just turn into a wick, or will it continue higher? So if it actually closes this week above it, I am more than convinced that it might be actually time to flip it to a support. But I guess it all depends on Bitcoin. We'll see. And that means it could just build a base on top of 340 or a little bit below on this 45, and then go to 500, 540. It could go to 1,000, or even the 2.272, 2,400. Like, I think really the sky is the limit on this one, especially if it closes the week above my 45-degree angle for MSTR. So people that are taking profits on it, it might be, depending on how the week closes, it could be too soon.
And do you remember all those memes of like, Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin? Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin. Yeah, I loved it. Back in 2021.
That's the only thing that saved his company. Like, otherwise, he would not have a company today. So therefore, he did a fantastic job of saving his company.
I see in the chat a testimonial from it's hard to read on my screen. Legend 7. says CONL made him 5 figures. He's extremely grateful.
Oh wow! Congratulations there.
Congratulations.
That's very, very good.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. Not that I was talking about CONL like nonstop 2 weeks ago.
That was the time to talk about it.
Well,
Time to buy it.
It's one thing when you buy it, but he actually sold. So
yeah, that's true. You don't realize the profits until
your profits are just like in your dreams, and you're like you haven't really touched them yet.
All right, fine. I'm gonna sell right now. No, I'm not. I think a lot of people is going to be surprised about what's going to happen over the next 6 months.
Oh yeah, no, I think Coinbase is going to go over $1,000. I really do.
I think everyone's going to be surprised by what happens in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, everything is by everything. I mean, Bitcoin and Doge and some others they're at resistance now. So let's see if they can power through. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's hitting a little bit of resistance. Even Doge, I think, is hitting a little bit of resistance. And I think Matt's probably going to need some acycle veer to clear up the herpes. Yeah, that's what's going to happen over the next 2 weeks.
Well, either way, I'm not selling anything anymore, especially not Tesla, since we're going to be transitioning into one of the best stocks of 2025, 26, and 27, which is this one right here.
Best stock of the century.
Ooh. So here we go. Starting with the fibs. It was obvious rejection of the 786. 347. Wicked above, got rejected. And after hours, it went down to 320, right? So it did go down there already, but it's not going to show. It's not going to show on the weekly candles. So maybe you don't have to go there in the morning when the market opens. Wick below it, we'll see. Maybe needs to go and like retest these wicks over here too, like maybe the 314. Who knows? But does it matter in the long run? No, it doesn't, right? Like you'll get these, oh my god, it's going to collapse again, narratives again. But guess what? It just had a 30% weekly candle last week, and it's only down 2% right now, right? Only down. Or no, it's up. It's still up. What am I talking about? It's a red candle, but it's up. It's up 2.26% still from last week. So yes, it's a red candle, but it's still higher than last week. So I don't understand why people are worried about it.
It's maybe like Kat was just talking about how people forget so quickly. Like 6 years happen, 4 years go by. No, Kat. Like the next day will happen, and people will forget what happened the day before.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's red today. They just like lose their shit sometimes.
Unless you were buying at 350, there's really no reason to panic. But I tell everybody, especially in my Patreon, that never buy resistance, because that's just a perfect way to get trapped. And that's exactly what they did. Maybe the market makers were going to send it higher, but then they saw a lot of retail buying resistance. Like, haha, we're going to get those guys. And then they just sent it lower. That's probably what happened. They saw too many retail buyers buying at this level. And they just, okay, we're going to reverse it. And there we go. Then they're going to force those people that bought here to sell down here. And then they're just going to create more liquidity and then send it back up. That's most likely that's most likely what's going to happen. So do I want it to go lower? Actually, yes. Even though I have a full position of Tesla, I'm starting to buy TSLL now for trading, because I want it to go below 320. I would love it to go below 320. Maybe 315, 314, 310, 295. I mean, just to load up on TSLL for a short term, and then boom, that'd be amazing. So,
well, Matt, guess what?
What?
I'm granting you your wish. I think you'll be able to buy it at those levels tomorrow.
Let's see your chart then, Tracker.
All right, bring it on.
Yeah, and one thing, if we wanted to buy 350, you must be really bullish on Tesla. So don't change.
But but they're probably going to panic sell at 350.
I tell all my followers, never buy on margin. Don't use leverage to buy stuff, especially resistance, because you're going to get margin called when stuff does like this reversal we got here. So yeah, hit the high 362.80, and then as soon as it started to do this, I said, wait, let's take a look. I pulled out my my retracement tool, when I was just telling you guys, get practiced on this thing, pull it up, and I went from the top back to, which one did I go to? This one right here. Right, that little guy, that little reversal doji right here. Hanging man there. So it's these right here. So back to 294.18 from 362.80. are these fibs that I'm sorry that everything's covering everything else. The 50% retracement was 328.49, and that was what sort of feigned a support all day and kind of lost it, then got it back, and then lost it again. And I was looking for, 382, 236, 618. And what did we get? Why, it's, we got more than 382, but by and large, after it wicked down to 50% here at 5 a.m., it ran right back up and then caught itself around the 382, 236, and then I projected at 618. And we didn't get it during the regular trading hours. We haven't quite got it yet. It's just saving it for tomorrow. In the pre-market, I think we'll have a gap down. And yeah, so the 618 would be 320.39. I think it's going to go even scarier than that. And this is why I think actually I was comparing this with TSLL. And I had this target for a while because you know how much I love to do my fib extensions from wave start, 764. Usually the 382, in this case, it would drop to the 236, then kind of reestablished its support at the 382 right there. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then bam, right there, 382, and then to the 1382. So, and it didn't go to 1382. Oh, that's why. Okay, I'm sorry. So it went 764, 236, and it did the 236 is sort of what held. So the influence is that it doesn't go to the 138. It gets stuck under the 1236. And so after that, whereas originally this would have been 138 to 100%, it's got stuck under the 1236. So this goes to 764. So TSLL, I've got this little arrow right here because I think it's going to go perfectly to 1675. And there's your TSLL buy-in point right there, Matt. Buy it just before it gets to 1675, because by the time it gets to 1675, there are fewer and fewer sellers. So to get bigger orders in, you need to buy above.
Well, I've already been buying. I started buying in the 19s,
Yeah,
so
I'm ready. You can buy all the way down, or
yeah, that's always that's what I did with CONL. I started buying at 28, then my last buy was at 22.
Nice,
and
nice,
then
nice.
Boom.
Should I tell my
town.
So I simply just took. I'm sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, you should. TSL. Oh, we got an announcement too, guys. Look at this. Trump announced that Elon Musk and Vivek will lead the newly created Department of DOGE.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Oh man, well wait. Oh, the market's closed, so we can't see what that does to Tesla. But
no, I can see.
Probably
Robinhood says Tesla is at 324.62 right now. So
okay, so no change.
Yeah, no change.
So yeah, so I see this as it's got another 13.5% to go from where it is market close. So half of 13.5% is about 6.5, 6.7, and yeah. So I think it's going to go. I said, well, let's take it to 307.90 to make it extra scary. Like usually the 618 would hold a support at 320, and the 764 is right here at 310. This thing's in the way. Sorry, let me just bump this around. Nope, that's the wrong one. I don't want this. It's just the stupid arrows in the way. 313.15. So no. 310.37 is a 764. So, but to make it extra scary, the 50% level right here, this 50% is it's my special from when Tesla was $1 to the all-time high, and then to the 101 low is my fib extensions, and this is the halfway point, 307.90. So 307.90 to make it extra scary. The 88.2% fib for $302.28 to make it extra scary. But don't count on that. If it did that, though, you can see how on the 1 hour chart that would be price hitting the moving average 100 is this yellow line right here. So that would probably be the moving average 100. You can see there's some buy block orders. No, that's not buy block orders. That is the monthly R2 pivot, I believe. Yep, monthly R2 pivot at 306.88. So anyway, just a nice target zone right there. This is where I plan to make all of my TSL purchase tomorrow. when it gets into this zone right around here between 313 and 307. If it goes even lower, then I'll buy even more.
But you know they did already close the 4-hour gap today. That was on the chart. If you notice that, the 4-hour chart gap, they closed it today. They closed it.
This one right here.
Yeah, they closed it. So maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not going to go lower. We don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe the 618 is all we get. Maybe 320.39 is all we get. But this
I want to hear
extra scary.
I want to hear Kat's thoughts on Tesla.
And it would complete my beautiful TSL chart to the 76% fib support level, because that's what it does when it goes 236, 1236, 76.4.
Yeah.
All right, Kat. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see your thoughts.
Meow. I don't have any thoughts. It broke above the 2-week Ichimoku cloud. That's all I care about.
But is it going to close above it?
Is it going to close above it? Heck yeah.
Well,
I mean, if you want
let me see yours. Yeah, I want to see your screen. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
You're seeing my screen here.
Are you sure it's going to close above it? I am not convinced. I'm not convinced yet, Kat. I'm really not.
So this is the evolution of what happened over the last 3 years. You know, initially it really wants the Ichimoku cloud. It was buying it flowers, got rejected. It was playing like on a handheld studio, some like, you know, love song on the outside the window, got rejected. Trying to buy her dinner, she wouldn't go. She wouldn't go again. So he went to shower, he went to change, and then he got some really nice flowers and actually got the reservation for some higher class restaurants this time. Cleaned himself up, lost some weight, and got some nice suit. And you know what? Found a moment of vulnerability, and it penetrated the cloud. And
did he show up with like a special hairdo? Like he put some gel in his hair?
If you're into like the whole Danny Well accumulation kind of thing, I think like right now there's no retail here on the 2-week chart as well. Yeah, this is absolutely a beautiful romance that has, you know, turned out to be a hims and hers, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know why you want me to like, you know, show this.
I actually just want to hear your thoughts. Like, do you think it's going to go back to like 300 or 310, or what do you think?
I don't care. Like,
what do you
ask
think?
Me,
what do you think, though? I don't care either, but what do you think?
Okay, so what I'm going to think is I think there's a good chance that it might end up touching the upper Bollinger Band here on the weekly, which is 308.02.
Danny's in the chat.
Danny's in the chat.
Oh my God, Danny! Hey, Danny's nickname on Telegram now is Da Hong.
the DC. No, I think there's a potential chance for it to come back to touch the upper Bollinger Band. There's always a chance. Does it have to do that? No. It can just kind of go sideways here, wait for the Bollinger Band to expand. I do think that it probably needs to kind of correct the move here a little bit. But I think it might just kind of go sideways for like a week or two. Like, do I care? Like I see a lot of similarities between like where is back where we're at right now versus like where we are over here, right? I think there is a chance that it's way outside of the Bollinger Band, but it doesn't have to go down and touch it. All it has to just kind of go sideways here, right? Because a lot of people might be thinking the same thing that we're thinking. It might come back down and touch the area and give us, you know, a chance to load TSLA, but we may not be able to, right? That's always the trick. Like you never know. You just never know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not deterministic about this because I really don't know. All I know is that it is really overextended and is really bullish. And if I don't know what is going to happen, I do nothing. Like that's what I do. So I already load up and like less than, like, you know, my cost average is less than 200. I'm happy. I'll do nothing. That's what I would do because I really don't know whether or not it's gonna come back down or not. It doesn't have to, right? Because like you guys said, like it closed a weekly gap. It closed the daily gap here. Like, I don't think it has to retrace that down that much further. I think the market maker's probably already happy with the price action, so it doesn't have to go back down too much further, but it can, right? And if it does, I agree there'll be an opportunity to load up on, like, you know, a little bit like a leverage ETF, but I wouldn't necessarily be like that deterministic that is going to happen. Those are my thoughts.
All right, and I've got more Tesla to show you as well.
Please do.
I was just talking about yesterday. No, so here's my chart on the weekly, and you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff around here. I'm not going to bother cleaning up because that'll take too much time. But just look back here, 2021 to 2022, when we had this, this triangle and this meteoric breakout. Well, just imagine the same triangle is now this one and a meteoric breakout. And so that's what I'm looking for. Usually when these triangles resolve and you get a breakout to the upside, you land way higher than when the triangle started. So I actually did measure this ABC to ABC. That takes us to this
Woo!
761.10. So that's my, I have the 3, is it 8-hour chart? I had the 3 paths chart that I was showing everybody, the 3 paths. And yeah, and my preferred path is this one, the brown path, and that's the one I think that we're on. It's the fractal move duplicating from 21 to 2022. Same thing, but we're doing it bigger this time. So 710, I'm sorry, originally it was 710.59 is my my target for this. And I think we could do that for sure. And if not, then it's this blue path, which looks very similar to the brown path. It kind of, this one only goes up to 721 instead of, yeah, this one goes to 721. I guess it's supposed to go to 710. I must have moved this. Anyway, I'm sorry. 710 is down here. 721's there. And then after retrace back to the 500s, it goes on to 1100 or something. And even the brown path does that too. It's just that it rips, it just melts your face off all the way to 710, almost just really relentlessly. I mean, all you have to do really is just go back and look at this part of the chart again, back here in 2021, 2022, and look and see what it did here. And this is what I'm going to start doing, I think, more of. Is just watch and see what it did here and look for the same behavior, the same pattern behavior now this time around. It's going to look like this. And look, it gets really messy. Look at all these island reversals. There's like 2 tops, a W bottom, an island reversal top, and then it just starts to build in waves. Oh man, and look, here's a gap, a big gap down. Oh, so much drama is ahead of us. But don't worry, we'll be here with you every step of the way. And that's my thought on Tesla.
Yeah.
Don't short it. Don't short it. Your pants will get caught on fire.
Yeah, find an opportunity to buy the dip, and if you want to use a little bit of leverage ETF, not advised, obviously, but
and the leaps are great. Buy in the money leaps.
Yeah,
especially tomorrow.
Well, I mean, what do you think? CONL, BitX, or TSLA?
I know, right? It's got to be a little bit of everything.
Or MSTX. I mean, I don't know.
all of them at support. That's like the best time to buy these leverage is at support, and that's when most people are afraid to buy them because they think it's going lower. So
I mean, really, it's kind of a dream if you can buy all 3. Then you can kind of race them, and then whenever one gets a little ahead of the other ones, just sell a little bit of that one to buy the other 2.
Yeah.
And when one of those gets ahead of the other 2, sell that one to buy the other 2. It's a perfect strategy.
Like RC cars, yeah.
Okay, that's my Tesla.
Beautiful.
Right, yeah. So good. I hope it goes lower, 310, 3, whatever, it doesn't matter. I want to buy more TSLL. Load the boat.
Me too. This chart rate here. I think this is gonna work its magic, and we're gonna get this. Oops, 1 hour. I think we're gonna get the support level right at 1675.
Yeah, we'll see. We will find.
It's something that's gonna look really scary tomorrow, and then suddenly everything will be fine again.
Just like I mean, 1670 would be amazing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if it comes.
All right.
So what's next on the list?
Yeah.
Oh man, you looking to me? I don't know. I mean, there are a bunch of chart requests. I think I saw EOSE. That's like the tracker special. I don't know.
Which one?
EOSE.
EOS.
Oh, EOSE, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, EOSE, it's kind of an extended wider flat.
Yeah.
They had a capital raise. They like announced like they're gonna sell some more shares, a little bit of dilution. That just killed it. It was doing really good until then, and now it just looks like an extended wider flat from my wave 1, wave 2 setup was great, and then it's basically fallen all the way back to still a higher low than the wave 2 start. So this wave 2 start is still valid. All these price targets are still valid. It's just gonna, it took a breather, and now it's gonna have to climb its way back up here. 391 is still my next target, with support at 321, and then on to 573 for the 2382. That is my EOS chart. So nothing's changed except that now it's going to take longer.
Yeah.
With this falling back over.
And then there's also Rocket Lab, which has rocketed.
Oh my gosh!
Hours.
So you know what's really exciting about Rocket Lab? Their earnings report. They actually reported earnings. They had no earnings expected.
No way.
They actually reported some earnings here.
You mean they reported a profit? Yeah.
Yeah, because the market was expecting no earnings, right? But they said no. We actually got some money from the Department of not DARPA, Department of who did they get the money from?
DOGE.
Right, sure. They got the money from DOGE.
DOGE.
And so it went up by let's see. I can't even tell. I'm in the wrong chart zone here. Here we go.
I'm a Rocket Lab.
It went up a bunch. Yeah, I know. 28% from from the close. It's up 20% to 1872 is the high, and it looks like it's flagging for higher. This looks like a bull flag right there. My chart says it's going to 1712 is my target actually. And wait, what did I just say it was at? 1872. So it's actually above my.
Well, 1845 is what it closed at after hours.
Yeah. So it's up here. It overshot my 76.4% fib target. Does that mean it goes to wait? These are the fib targets. Okay, yeah, this is the one right here. Oh no, it should go to 20. It should go to 2048. What was I smoking when I did this? Oh, I was just looking for a simple retrace, and I hadn't even done the fib extensions on this. I've been just not sleeping lately. The market's been so crazy. Let's see. So
you never sleep. Come on, that hasn't nothing to do with the market.
1382, 100, 2382, and this is regular scale. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, my target is. Let me just get rid of these. They're in the way. Here, this is what we're looking at.
That's pretty rocky.
2048 is where it's supposed to go. I went higher than that. And then back to the 382. Maybe it's going to go to the 100%. And then the 618. Which means this goes to the 1618. 1236. And then the 2618. Oh, I like that. All right, so Rocket Lab to $45 and 76 cents eventually.
Yeah.
All right, let me share mine now, and my turn.
Yeah.
Me.
Go ahead, please.
And I think how Rocket Lab opened the week this week was kind of foreshadowing of what it wanted to do. It opened up above the 786 here on log scale, and then it was just launch mode activated. Not only that, last week it broke above the ARC and the 702, and then it gapped up again. It gapped up twice basically. Well, this wasn't really a gap. It just huge 18% candle, and then it gapped up above the 786. That was just a sign saying it wants to smash through numbers. and 1875 or 1845, I think, after hours, like right around here. So it's going to even be above the 886 tomorrow, on its way to the all-time highs. So what's above there too? That's going to be my angle and the arc. So I do expect it over time to get there, which is going to be around 23, 24 bucks. So I think this thing has legs, and I think it wants to go smash through all-time highs and beyond, and maybe even get to the 1.272 later, around $35.
And I think all of this, what Tracker said and what Matt said, is possible because if you look at you put a Bollinger Band on the weekly, like just it's just riding it up. Like even the lower Bollinger Band is expanding down. It's on the weekly. So it's very, very impulsive. Look at that crap.
That's good. That's some good crap. Yeah.
That's some good crap right there. Yeah, it's rocketing. Yeah,
I mean, it's finally living up to its name, Rocket Lab. It's like rocketing. Good job, Rocket Lab. I'm proud of you.
I just have to read this out of the comments. JT says, I can imagine Tracker using Hot Wheels to race the stocks. And, they've gotten me exactly right. I love Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
I love racing Hot Wheels.
There were a few other. Somebody mentioned GME. And somebody mentioned
AMD too, and I'll do AMD. Yeah. You guys love GME. AMD. It's just I'm going to use linear fibs here, and it's at the 786, guys, from the previous all-time high. Right. This is not really that scary. If you look at it, it's not scary at all, and it also kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders. Like you don't really need to use anything else except for these set of fibs on linear scale and say, hey, as long as it stays above 140, it can wick it below, it's fine. But as long as it stays above, then it's fine. But you got to understand too, there's like a rotation going on. So it's not like it's going to just do a rocket lab. It's just going to maybe build a base over time and slowly go higher because of that rotation that's going on. So just there's probably better use of the money elsewhere. But I think it has potential to go back towards the 160s and above.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad place to park your money at all. If you want to leave it in cash.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone asked if I had a Patreon. I do not have a Patreon. If somebody's messaging you and asking you to join my Patreon, I don't have one. So that's a scammer. I'm only on X.
And my Telegram.
And your Telegram. Yeah. Wait, it's your Telegram.
Yes, it's mine. It's not your own. Yes,
it's not mine.
No, but you're there. You say words on it. I can see it.
I do.
Yeah. So SOFI. Oh, SOFI is all cat. Come on, cat. You got to do SOFI.
Oh man, I already did a SOFI video earlier.
People are wanting it, and you're the SOFI guy.
Well, I'll do my GME if you want to.
All right, well, put my screen there, man. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
GME first or SOFI? I don't know which one.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, he's ready to go. Go. Let's do the.
I know you have GME right up here. Go ahead.
I've got it right up here. So GME is basically it never, it had this beautiful. Look at this. That's crazy. That's crazy. That short roaring kitty squeeze gave us a nice wave 1, wave 2, and ever since it hit the. Let's see. Actually, that's wave 1. Actually, I started my count from here. I just even ignored that one. I said, this can be the wave start, wave 1, wave 2. And based on that, it never went lower than 1757. And as long as it never goes lower than 1757, then all these levels are still my target levels. Here's the 764, the 382. Sing along with me, everybody. The 1382, 100%. And then the 2382. 7530. Exactly. So, you guys can do this at home. Just do a Fibonacci trend-based Fibonacci fib extension off the wave bottom to the wave 1 top to the wave 2 bottom. And then, so 7109 is the 764. So I think once, it just clears this 236 level and the 382, it will shoot up to the 764 really fast. So 7109 back to 4433 to if 4433 doesn't lose it and have a tire blowout, then it's going to go to 114.51. And then if the chart doesn't lose support at 87.62, then it has to go to 184.43. And there is my GME chart. It's the same one I posted ever since, right?
Boom.
I think I had one here, and then I just had to alter the numbers as we came down here. But yeah, it's been the same since April 15th anyway.
Yeah, Cat is buying 1 GME a day to keep the doctor away.
I bought 100 GME just because Cat was buying GME. He said,
Oh, 100.
Yeah, I just bought 10
Oh no,
shares for fun, but
Tesla's
yeah.
up to $329 after
the
overnight
DOGE
right now.
announcement.
Oh
Nice.
no, this
Yeah.
is terrible news. I did not want to see that happen. I wanted to see a dip.
You want to get it, buy it lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. So, yeah, SOFI for Cat. Go ahead, SOFI Cat. Or you could do your Doge. What I mean, your GME, whatever you have.
Yeah, so real quick, Tracker was saying, what was it, 44?
Yeah.
You said, sorry, you said 70. You said 71, right? And then 44, right? And then 100 and
That's right.
like
71,
10, so around there,
44.
80 something, and then and then 175, right? That's what you said.
It's 71,
So
44,
I can see that happening.
114, 87,
Yeah.
and then 184.
Yeah, so yep, 71, 44, 71, 44, 118, 81,
184.
and then and then 185.
Yeah.
184. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see it happening. Anyway, yeah, this is my monthly GAN. Looks like it's respecting the arcs here very extremely well. So it's probably going to break above these arc over here. You know why I think it's going to break above the arc? I mean, I think because the trend is becoming really bullish. Monthly Bollinger Band, back test to 20, from flat to a little bit positive sloping, expanding here a little bit. On the weekly, it's expanding. If I can pull, yeah, it's expanding very nicely over here. It kind of looked like a very similar look over here that it did over here before it exploded. If you look at Danny's whale indicator kind of thing, you can see like no retail over here on the weekly. On the daily, it also looks very, very nice. Same thing, no retail, right? The entire time has been just kind of building a base up here, and there's a behavior change just recently. So yeah, I think it's going to go higher. I'm not going to talk too much about like the FIB levels and all that because you know, I think the tracker already did the job for us. So real quick, SOFI. What do I think that's happening in SOFI? SOFI is also becoming really, really bullish. I mean, the whale accumulation is just going insane. It's breaking about the 0.382, which is around $14. It's kind of like the support here, flip resistance, and now it's maybe hoping to flip back into the support here. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it is overextended, but I think it's going to keep getting overextended for a long time. I think it's probably have enough energy now. If it pushed about the 0.382, I think it's probably got enough energy to push to the 0.618, which is going to be $19. I think that's probably either $19 or $23 is going to be some really, really hard resistance. It's probably going to get getting stuck here around here for a while before pushing up further. That's kind of what I'm seeing, but I'm not sure if 14 is going to be like that big of a resistance based on how impulsive this bull trend is right now. It can be, and it is way overextended, but I just don't know. Like right now, it looks like I just want to break above the 0.382. I just want to like keep going higher. So I don't know. I mean, like I when I don't know, I do nothing, right? Because I already did all the work over here. Like, when I don't know, I do nothing. I'm just gonna let it ride. Like at this point, I would not like advise anything because I'm not a financial advisor anyway. But I would probably not get in. I would not get out. I would just let it do its thing. That's kind of what I think about it. I know it's not a very smart thing to say, but if I do, I can do a quick scan here. I think I did this 360 and 0.2. Some pretty beautiful market symmetry here. You know, it's like it's like absolutely beautiful. Whereas it broke about this arc over here, got into this arc here, back test the arc here, back test 0.38, 236, back test a $10, back test the arc, passed. Where to go? Go up to the next level, which is going to be the horizontal here, which is exactly the same thing as like the 0.382. So where is it end up going to? Probably 0.618. It's the like $19. It's probably going to be the next level if it's able to hold about here. There's always a chance for it to come down, close the gap, and break down and like hover around here for a while. But like the way that it's looking right now, it looks like it wants higher. So I'm not gonna like get in the way. If it comes back down to like $11 or like $10, and I might load up, and a lot of people might do the same. So I don't think it's going to do that.
Well, if you just stay on your chart, I'll call out my numbers for SOFI. I think it's going to go to 1632 next, then 1347, and then finally tops out at 2554, maybe 2378, but 24, $25.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah,
and it consolidates for a little bit and then makes a new pattern.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah, I'm gonna do like one because there keeps on having requests to come on. I'm just not, I don't know if I can do this anymore. We gotta go soon, but this is IONQ is my CAN 180 0.5. It really is right resistance. Like I don't know what else to say. But it's between resistance and support. It's right here at the arc resistance, but it's also broke about the 0.786. It came back and back tested it this week, right? So it might hover around here, may form a little bit of a bull flag over here, and then there's a confluence of decision making here, and then it's going to pick a direction after that. I don't know which direction, but with the market, the way the market is going, it's probably going to be up, especially if it's able to stay about the 0.786. So yeah, it probably is a good chance to make to the all-time high. I don't know if Tracker or Matt, you have any like other thoughts on IONQ, but
I've got an IONQ.
Yeah, you want to show it?
Basically, this one from the all-time high to this all-time low, and then just doing the fib retracements here. This one went right almost to the 618, and then back below the 236. So it looks like it's definitely go to the 764, maybe even the 882 they don't have showing up on here. Right there. I missed it. Right about there. 882. So yeah, maybe it wants to go to 3187 next. But I do have a wave extension already going from the bottom here. This is wave 1, wave 2, and it looks like it kind of like went 618, 50%, 100%. So it might come back to the 764 here at $20.40, and then go either to the 150%, or if it gets all caught up in the 2025, giddiness, maybe it gets the 1618 at 36.25. I've got it at 36.25 right now. And it pulls back to the 1236 now, and then to the 2618, something like that. I've been using these parallel lines that Matsby showed me the other week, and I'm just completely absorbed with them, trying to predict timing using them. But yeah, IONQ from where it is now, just a little bit of a pullback to maybe 2040, then on up 36, 29, 54, 55-ish. That is my IONQ.
Very good. I have one real quick. It's at the 786, and that is support. And not only that, it's a previous high that it's back testing as well. So it looks like a lot of confluence of support right here going on. So yeah, I think this $21 zone has really good potential of being a new floor for IONQ.
Oh yeah.
So it looks pretty good.
All right. I know we had a couple more, but I'm probably gonna end the show here. It's a good spot.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
We are beauty.
Fun time as always.
Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight for the Everything Rally special. We did really want to touch on the small caps and the cryptocurrency and just everything else. The 20, we didn't really talk about the 2025 preview. Maybe we should do that next week. Like I feel like, or like as we go into the end of the year, like a 2025 preview special.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, right now we're just starting. Like obviously, Bitcoin breaking out, IWM maybe breaking up and hitting resistance.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think the next few months is going to be fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a Christmas rally before Christmas, and then we might get a Christmas rally on top of that.
Yeah, it's going to be good times.
Great times.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of disbelief out there, which is kind of like
you can kind of
crazy.
feel it in the
So,
market too. You
yep.
can see like, I don't believe they're like, I can't believe that it's gone this high, and
Oh,
so they're
no.
kind of hesitating to buy in.
Tesla's at 338 after hours on Robinhood now. God, I
no.
can't buy lower now. What is going on here?
Oh no! That's why
It's just a
I
bunch
tell my
of
followers, just you can
No.
you don't have to wait for one perfect price. You can trade. You can keep buying the whole way down in a downtrend and not worry about missing, the best price, because you bought the best. You bought every price you bought on the way down was the best price.
Yeah, it doesn't
Because
matter. It's
all
a
going
zone.
higher.
Like, I get it all the time on my X. Like, oh, it's through this level. I'm like, well, it's really just a zone. It's not like an exact number. Like, oh, I'm a market maker. I'm gonna make it hit 217 and 13 cents exactly. No.
Where did you say that the Tesla was at right now?
It was 338. Now it's 333. It's just bouncing around. I guess there's not much liquidity. So.
Oh yeah, it's stuck under this. It's stuck at that 336.87.
it's just Robinhood
just
degens.
just
Don't worry about
Somebody
it.
bought like 17 shares and it shot it up to 340. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's enough for today.
All right. Thank you guys so much, Matt.
All
I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah. See you in the morning.
And Kat, you have a good day too.
Yeah. Always a great time. Take care,
Good
guys.
dreams, everyone.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.